Greetings and salutations, everyone. Today we have a bit of a free-form, sort of free-flowing commentary kind of video because I don't have a drawing for you, sadly. For those of you that are sad about that, I do instead have something to show you artistically, something that I drew in the past about 4 years ago in a high school art class. The teacher was a great teacher. I learned a lot from him. Very profound, very wise, and very understanding, which is a lot of the qualities I feel like teachers should have. Either way, I won't get into that too much, but onto the sketchbook. Here we go. Keep in mind that this commentary is going to be very quick and free-flowing because I'll be talking and reacting to what I've already recorded. But yes, in the class we were asked to first do free sketches, free drawings, make sure we filled up every page, make sure we were doing something. We were graded on that. Kind of like attendance in a sense. You know, you show up to class, we know that you're there. We know that you're doing work, kind of like that, just to make sure that we were actually filling it up and actually thinking creatively and doing things in our sketchbook. Because practice and constant implementation of that practice is good, well, practice. Constantly drawing is good practice, even if it's, not to your liking. Nothing has to be a masterpiece. Or that's what you're seeing right here. Some of these things are actual lessons from in the class, 1 and 2 point perspective. But a lot of the time you'll see me drawing a lot of characters like Batman, some original characters of mine as well, some scenes, some little areas here and there, backgrounds and stuff. In the class, I also just try to push myself and do things that I wouldn't normally do. So that's what a lot of the backgrounds and scenic pictures were. It's good to do that, although that's not really my strong suit. Although if I were to really buckle down, I know I could do it. But an interesting tidbit about this is that in my high school we did a performance of Aladdin Jr. and I played Jafar in that drawing. Oh, was it my junior year? No, it must have been my senior year because that's the year that I was Jafar. Correction. Either way, I played Jafar, and in this art class we were actually in cahoots, if you will, with the stage production. And we would help put together some props. And in this sketchbook, you might see a few drawings of some scimitars, or scimitars, however you want to say it, curved swords and stuff. So we were put in charge of different props and things, and I would put together different hilt designs because we wanted to make each one look a little different. And we ended up making them, and they were used in the production, and it was pretty cool to be a part of that. One of my friends, one of my classmates, made a elephant, and he was just an absolute genius, an artist. He's studying art now. He's great. By the way, moving on, you saw a few pictures of Aladdin characters. That was just another one of the examples of just filling up free space with things. And because we were in the same vein of Aladdin, the same sort of thinking of Aladdin, I just thought I might as well just draw Aladdin characters, and that was pretty fun. And now here comes the slightly embarrassing part, but not really. I'm not embarrassed about or to say this, but I drew a lot of original characters because, with a lot of the blank spaces that I had to fill it up with some free space and what was in my mind. So I drew a lot of OCs, original characters. And a lot of these characters, oh goodness, I had stories and backstories for them. And it's always just so interesting to hear other people talk about their OCs and to talk about yours, of course. That's always fun. But yeah, you'll see a few characters here in particular that I want to point out to you because by the end of the sketchbook, I draw them in. I don't remember putting so much time into them, but they turned out surprisingly well from what I could remember. And one of the characters was named Roy. He's the one in the sweater vest, and the other one in the black and white hoodie was named Alec. And they were two boys in high school, and it was like a fantasy sort of setting, action fantasy. It was really cool, a fun idea, a doable idea, but of course school got in the way. And not to say that you should let school get in the way if that's what you want to do, but for me, school is my priority, which is also a good venture to have, a good value to have. And so, I just put the story to the side. But basically what I'm trying to say is that if you were interested, I'd be willing to possibly show you those characters and maybe redesign them and put them in a more use the skills that I have now to then make them come to life even more so. And they still turned out pretty well from what I remember. But yeah, in the end, this sketchbook turned out to be a really refreshing thing to look back on. It's like a totem, like a memento of what I did in the past. And I thought that was kind of inspiring to see and look back and see how not terrible I thought I was. Because a lot of the time I could look back at some drawings when I was like 8 and see like, oh, of course, I was just 8 years old. Of course I didn't know how this worked, or, I mean, even now, I still feel like I mess up a lot on what I'm drawing. But I guess that's all a part of, learning, figuring out what you have to improve on. And looking back at this sketchbook, I thought to myself, man, I'm going to hate it. I'm not going to really like how it's going to look. I don't even know if I should show people it. But I got over that really quickly, especially after I started looking through it again. And I really liked how a lot of them still hold up today. And plus, I can always put the blame on the fact that, it was 4 years old, Of course it looks bad. But in the end, it didn't really look that bad. I liked it a lot, and I hope you did too. Segues, that's it. That's the end of the video. I hope you liked it. And as always, you can see more videos here. If you feel like you want to see more of my stuff, consider subscribing. You can like this video, share it around, and hey, that's it. I'll see you all in the future. And as always, stay original.